Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
Hey everyone, just know that you can use the promo code BROADS for $20 off of your SeatGeek's total purchase, so make sure you get yourself to a game. The Nationals win the World Series. From a Phillies fan perspective, that makes me sick. I'm so disgusted. From a sports fan's perspective, that was incredible. That was an amazing journey. That's the beauty of sports that I always talk about. You can't write this stuff up. It's insane. From their poor record early in the season, to the insane run, to Max Scherzer, Patrick Corbin, that weak bullpen all season long. Who cares? They were able to get it done with their dominant starting pitching and putting Corbin in a specific role. And Hudson coming over and being a big-time player. How about Juan Soto, this kid out of nowhere? Rendon. How elite was he late? Howie Kendrick? What he did this postseason? I'm in awe. The run was a beautiful story. I mean, there's just no denying it. Specifically Game 7. Here's a story for you. One of my buddies hit me up. What are you thinking tonight? Who should I bet? I told him I'm going with the Nats. It just feels that way. It just felt like that was the move. But I told him, when the Nationals were up early in Game 7, I stated, when the Nats win these games, the Astros have 10,000 opportunities to knock guys in. They don't, and then the Nats end up hitting one solo shot, and the rest is history. That's exactly how it played out. Every time the Astros took a 1-2 run lead early, they would go quiet with so many runners on base. They would go quiet, but they would get guys on. And just like that, the Nats would hit a solo shot to cut the lead in half, and then things would open up. It literally played out the exact way I told him it would before the game even started when I told him to bet the Nationals. It was inevitable. Right? Wasn't it inevitable that the Nationals were going to win Game 7? Every road team won. Think about that. If I said the Houston Astros would not win one home game in this series before the series even started, you would have laughed in my face. Now, A.J. Hinch with a horrendous game managing. How Garrett Cole did not touch the bump, mind-blowing. How Zach Greinke was pulled with 80 pitches after having such a dominating performance is a joke. I understand there was a walk and a home run involved. The guy was at 80 pitches, and he was a force all night. And if you are to go to your bullpen, why did you choose who you chose? A.J. Hinch, oof, that was rough. He should lose some sleep after that. But that doesn't discredit what the Nationals did, because here's the thing. I mentioned all season long how many chances the Astros had in certain games to score more runs. Well, that is all because of the dominating pitching out of the Washington Nationals. Strasburg was on another planet. See, I'm a big Max Scherzer guy. Even though I'm a Phillies fan, a huge Max Scherzer fan. Because there's no one that attacks batters like he does. This dude is talking to himself, mother effing the opponent while he's throwing a pitch. When he grunts. Like, this is a competitor. You don't find guys like this often. He is a dominating force. He is such an elite professional, it's insane. When you find out that he can't go in Game 5, no one questions if he's soft, right? Everyone understands he must be in serious pain. That's because we all know how much of a beast this guy really is. I love it. In Game 7, he grinded, though. I thought the Astros barreled up the ball pretty good on him. But he found ways to get out of jams. He continued to grunt through the entire game. He's one of my favorites. And speaking of starting pitching, Justin Verlander. Listen, I know he's going to the Hall of Fame. I get how good he is. Dude can't win World Series games. And I know wins and losses is a flawed stat for pitchers, and I am a firm believer in that. But he's 0-6 with an ERA over 5. Guy has to be better. I mean, you're put in a position to be in the conversation of the elite class. You're 0-6 in World Series games. Not delivering. I'm sorry. I have the same amount of wins as Justin Verlander in the World Series. I always make this joke to my buddy. I think I'd rather have Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the World Series. I can't even say that with a straight face. The Astros, they should be ashamed of themselves. Because no matter what happened in this series, the first 2 games they lost at home with Verlander and Cole on the mound. The fact of the matter is, in Game 7, they had a lead. A 2-run lead. And they blew it. They had plenty of runners on base. Plenty of times to score more runs. And they didn't execute. That's on them. George Springer, one hell of a World Series. Bregman came alive at times and crushed the baseball. Alvarez struggled all playoffs, but had some hits there in the final series. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They came up short. They didn't win one game at home. That's so unbelievable. They were a juggernaut all season long at home. But this is why sports are so beautiful. This is the power of sports. It reminds me, when I watch them celebrate, when you watch every player run to the mound for that dog pile, I thought about the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. Everyone counted them out. They were underdogs every game. They had so many injuries, and they won. They beat the Patriots. No one would have thought. Isn't it wild how this happens? Now, the Bryce Harper jokes are all going to come out. All of Twitter is blowing up, right? As soon as the Nationals won the World Series, Bryce Harper was the first thing trending on Twitter. The first. Because he accidentally said, I want to bring a title back to D.C. when he had his press conference with Philadelphia. And I get all that. Listen, if something similar happened to my team, where we had this superstar, he leaves for a division rival, and then my team ends up winning the championship, I'd be doing the same thing, crushing that player. We don't need you. That's just the nature of it, right? I get it. I laugh at some of them. There was a gif of a clown on the side of the road with 8 balloons, and the caption was, I just passed Bryce Harper. Just funny things like that. Whatever, you laugh about it. You really can't take it to the extreme and take it to heart. It's funny. It's sports. It's going to happen. You're not going to stop people from chirping Bryce Harper for leaving. I'm sure Bryce Harper's sick. I'm sure he is. He would have thrived in this lineup. The reason why the Nationals didn't succeed in the past, it wasn't because Bryce Harper failed miserably. Their starting pitching didn't execute to the level that they needed to. It's crazy. If the Phillies realize one thing out of this, starting pitching matters. The Nationals, I mentioned this, didn't even have a bullpen. Starting pitching matters, yet the Phillies don't want to actually look at starting pitching. Strasburg, Scherzer, Corbin. These guys played their hearts out, pitched their asses off. That's tough to do, knowing that there's really no one to rely on in that bullpen. A couple guys. I know Doolittle. I know Hudson. A couple guys. But really, they're not deep at all. Starting pitching matters, and they succeeded in that category this playoff run. Of course, timely hits came into a factor. Whenever they were down in a game where they were facing elimination, they found a way to win. Howie Kendrick hitting home runs and Juan Soto. It's insane. It's insane. It's one for the record books. I'm almost lost for words, but as a fan of the sport and as a fan of baseball, very entertaining series. It goes 7. There's nothing better than 7-game series for the championship. You get the goosebumps when you see everyone celebrate, when you see the excitement. You know how much these athletes put into their craft every single summer, every single season. Think about how long a baseball season is, for real. we've been so out on the Phillies as a fan base. Could you imagine still caring that much about baseball right now? We moved on to the Eagles, and now we're almost moving on from the Eagles into the Sixers. Yet there are still fan bases rooting for their baseball team. It's such a long journey. They started in, March? It's wild. And the Nationals came out on top. It doesn't even sound right coming out of my mouth. The Nationals won the World Series. It doesn't even sound right. And once again, from a Phillies fan's perspective, I'm sick saying it. But I can't deny that their run was a very entertaining run. It's not like they have bad character people on the other side. Like I stated, I love Max Scherzer. Howie Kendrick. How can you hate a man like that? Trey Turner's fun to watch. Strasburg's dominating. And he's had woes throughout his career. I mean, how can he hate it? Juan Soto, the kid's a stud. Is he a hate the face a little bit? A little bit, only because of that stupid thing he does at bat, where he takes a pitch and he swipes his feet and he grabs his you-know-what, and he looks at the pitcher and he's playing with his mouth. Like, is that a little annoying? Sure. But you know what I love? I love the fact that he's got swagger. And Bregman hits a dinger. He runs to first base with the bat in his hand. What does Juan Soto do when he hits a dinger? He goes to first base with his bat in the hand. And then both teams try to play it off like, oh, we didn't mean to do that. We don't play baseball that way. Oh, stop it. That's fun. That's entertaining. That's the way it should be. Have a little bit of fun with the sport. What do they say? Let the kids play? Let the kids play. I can't believe they tried to downplay that. Stop. It's the World Series. It's a big moment. Enjoy it. So I have to congratulate the Nationals. Sadly, I do. But I do. Listen, we went down there the first week of the season when we played the Nationals, and 5,000 Philadelphia Phillies buses went down there and chanted, "We got Harper." Who got the last laugh? They did. I mean, they did. They won the damn trophy. But if there's one positive out of this, from a Phillies fan's perspective, one, upper management should be 10,000 times more sick than I am, and they realize that starting pitching matters. I mean, I don't understand how they don't process that. It's a huge deal. And two, Bryce Harper. You don't think Bryce Harper is going to come back with a little bit of an edge? A little bit. A lot of it of an edge. He's got to be hurting. Now, I'm sure he's got plenty of people who he is really close with and some really great friends on Washington that he's happy for, genuinely happy for. He was there for a while. He's got people that are family to him almost at this point, right? You're going to feel great for them at the same time. But he's going to feel it too. He's going to feel it too. And I wonder if after all the social media stuff and him getting roasted left and right, if that's going to fuel him to have some wild run in him. And I'm here for that. So, let me know your thoughts down below on the World Series and how it played out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.